me at 4 a.m. in the morning in the dark. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about three things here. Very brief, straight to the point. I'm going to cover three things. The very first one is on passive, by the way, is here to stay. Not only here to stay, is going to thrive and is going to shock you and is going to impress you. If you think it's a joke, if you think it's a prank, if you think it's a wishy-washy thing, you are damn wrong and you are going to be losing that bet. Okay. So sorry and so sad if you feel that way. If you feel this is something good and positive, you're also wrong because no matter how good you think it is, it's a lot better. All right. So none of you know what's coming. That's one thing. So I guarantee you're going to be thrilled. You're going to be pleased. If you hate humanity, you're not going to like what we're doing. The second topic is last time I talked to you, I said around this time, we should be having some tangible updates. Yes. Back in September, we've launched OConnect 2023, and we had a tremendous success. Spontaneously, we crushed all the records, unbelievable volume that scared the heck out of the payment processors, the bankers, all the way to those who are involved in the money handling thing. No problem. They chose to freeze our money. And we went to a battle. We lost it. It took about 3 to 4 months. It was a losing battle. So we used two processors, and we had to kind of slow down to make sure that we solve this. All right. So our funds has been on hold technically since sometimes in October back in 2023. And I told you we are going to win. And I said last time we're down to 3 steps from 50 or so. Don't take it literally. It's just like so many incremental small steps in the way, legality, letters, documents, applications, appeal, this, that, okay, changing advocates, etc. So we're down to none. As of yesterday, there's nothing left. And as I told you, we're going to win. It's our money. Some of it is your money, okay? And that is solved. The money is not in the bank yet, okay? About any day from now on, all right? It's not going to take weeks okay, we're talking about days. Any day from this very day, in fact, since yesterday to be very accurate, any day the funds will be hitting the bank, our money, and then we resume what have been a nightmare for me before anyone else, the delay in the payments and the withdrawals. I cannot wait to do that. A big chunk of it is not going to sit in the bank for like 48 hours or at most a couple of days just to do the processing. So I'm so happy and relieved because of that. And that will take us to the following. All right. Because of that, meaning we could be tentatively, and I mentioned this before, to the final extension or so in OConnect. And obviously, we're going to offer different packages. We have not kind of determined yet the exact things, but we have potential ideas floating among the teams. And soon we will let you know. The very good news also that we have done some incredible progress with the payment processors. So we already have something just about any day. Also, we will start live testing at least one of them, and then we start adding. Eventually, we're going to end up with several. Why? Because of the volume and the predicted volume. There's not one of them will handle it. And eventually, we're going to own it. Wink, wink. Okay. So this is all I have for you. On Passive is here to stay. Better than you think. Uh, a nightmare for the last several months is almost over. We're going to wake up to an incredible uh, dream, and the sun is going to come out, and we're going to find Chris Johnson somewhere in Miami in the Sunshine State. He was lost in the dark. I'm going to be telling that story. But I love the analogy, with all the respect. Okay, so secondly, or thirdly, actually, was the launching of, or opening more OConnect. I just love the quality of it, how it is right now. And then a couple of technical updates. OConnect native mobile application is just about to be released. We're pretty much wrapping it up. So that's refreshing, on time. O-Verify just on the same stage of being done, as well as opening more products. So business as usual. I love the direction we're headed to. There's going to be some turbulence because of the positive changes, and we just don't want to get ahead of ourselves in a way. Let's keep it as professional as possible, accurate. Don't say anything I don't say, or repeat, or spice it up, or tweak it, or put lipstick on it. Just say it as blunt, as fair. A few minutes. I just told you everything that we can tell you. I want to tell you more, but I can't now. When I can, I'll be here, the happiest boy on the block, and I will be telling you all I can. So thank you, my three brothers here, and everybody else out there. We are definitely in an incredible, outstanding position. The very best of what we have, it didn't show up yet. It's coming. Thank you. I'm gonna be on the road for a while, but I'll be reachable sometime in June. That was a joke. Okay. Thank you. I'll be around. Thank you.
Thank you, Ash.
Have a good one.
All right. So you keep hearing about OnPassive, right? Like it's everywhere online.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of buzz.
And maybe you're thinking, is this thing legit? Is it just hype?
That's what we're here for. We took a
well-
deep dive into all the conversations around it.
Exactly. Not just the marketing, but like the real discussions about OnPassive.
So you can get the full picture without all the,
The hype. Yeah.
the hype, exactly.
So for people just tuning in, OnPassive basically says it's going to revolutionize online business.
Yeah, they're making some pretty bold claims.
Using AI to like empower anyone to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's their big thing, right? Empowerment through AI.
But one thing I noticed right away is they're trying to distance themselves from the whole guru thing.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like all those expensive courses and...
Yeah, promising you get rich quick.
Exactly. It's a different approach for sure.
So how are they actually doing that? Like, what does it look like in practice?
Well, one thing is they use a subscription model.
Yeah.
One monthly fee gives you access to everything.
Oh, okay. So no upsells, no hidden costs.
That's what they say. Makes it more accessible
Okay.
compared to those high-ticket programs.
Yeah, for sure. So no more spending thousands of dollars to learn some guru secrets.
Right. And they're also really big on community, like a network of people supporting each other.
So less about competition and more about everyone working together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like an ecosystem where everyone benefits from each other's success.
I like that idea. But let's talk tech for a minute. OnPassive says AI and automation are their core.
Right, that's their bread and butter, supposedly.
So how's that actually working on the platform?
Okay, so they say their AI can handle a ton of tasks.
Like what specifically?
Marketing, lead generation, even building websites and customer service.
Wow, they really are going all in on this AI thing.
Oh, yeah. They even have a tool that analyzes market trends and gives you recommendations.
Wait, hold on. AI that tells you what to do for your business? Sounds kind of sci-fi to me.
I know, right? A little skeptical myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, can you give me like a real-world example of how this AI actually works?
Sure. Take their smart traffic tool. It's supposed to drive super targeted traffic to your website.
Okay, how?
You tell the AI who your audience is and what kind of traffic you want. Goes out and finds those people, directs them to your website or landing pages.
So it's not just like blasting out generic ads to everyone?
Nope. It's supposed to be making smart decisions about who to target.
Interesting. So does it actually work?
From what we've seen, people are saying it's showing promising results.
Like what?
More qualified leads, more website traffic,
Okay.
and they don't have to spend hours doing it manually.
Okay, so they're trying to take the guesswork out of online marketing.
And all the tedious stuff too, right?
Totally. Makes it more appealing to people who aren't tech savvy.
Right. That's their whole thing, empowering people, regardless of their experience.
It's a big claim for sure. We've only scratched the surface here, though. I'm curious about how they use AI to create this borderless business they keep talking about.
Yeah, and we should dig into the community aspect too. Seems like a big part of their appeal.
Definitely. But first, let's look at some of their other AI tools and how they're trying to disrupt the online marketing world.
Okay, so we've talked about how OnPassive uses AI for traffic, right? Making it easier.
Yeah, but like you said, traffic's just the start. You got to turn those visitors into leads.
Exactly. And that's where OnPassive claims to have another AI solution.
What is it? Another fancy tool.
They call it O-Leads.
Okay, and what's so special about this one?
It doesn't just find leads, it qualifies them too.
Qualifies them. How does that work?
So like most lead generation tools just blast out a message to everyone, right?
Yeah, kind of a spray and pray approach.
But O-Leads uses AI to analyze data and figure out who's actually likely to be interested in your offer.
Hold on. How does it know that? What data is it looking at?
Well, from what we've gathered, it considers a lot of factors. Online behavior, demographics.
So like what websites people visit? Stuff like that?
Yeah, and even things like engagement with similar products. It tries to build a profile.
So the goal is to give you leads who are ready to buy, not just random contacts.
Exactly. Leads who are more likely to convert into customers.
Sounds impressive, but doesn't that raise some privacy concerns?
Yeah, for sure. Like, are people even aware their data is being used this way?
And is it ethical?
Definitely something to think about. OnPassive says they're committed to ethical data use.
But transparency is key, right? People need to know what's happening with their information.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But assuming it works as they describe it could be huge for small businesses.
Yeah, for sure. Like imagine not needing a whole data science team to analyze all that stuff.
Exactly. It levels the playing field for people who don't have those resources.
Okay, so we've got traffic, we've got leads, but then comes the hard part, right?
Turning those leads into actual paying customers.
Yeah, that's where a lot of businesses struggle. What's OnPassive's solution for that?
Okay, so they have two more tools, OMail and OConnect.
Catchy names.
The idea is to nurture those leads automatically.
Automatically. Like
Yeah.
how?
You know, providing them with valuable information, building a relationship over time.
So it's less about the hard sell and more about building trust.
Right. It's about providing value first, which makes sense these days.
Yeah, everyone's so bombarded with ads and sales pitches.
Exactly. And the AI plays a role here too. It personalizes the communication
Mm.
based on the lead's interests and engagement. Makes each interaction feel more human.
Oh, that's interesting. So even though it's automated, it's not just sending out generic messages?
Yep. It tries to tailor everything to the individual.
I'm starting to see how all these tools fit together, but honestly, it all sounds a bit impersonal.
Impersonal.
Yeah, like, are people going to feel like they're talking to robots, not real humans?
It's a valid point. That's one of the big challenges with AI in marketing.
Finding that balance between automation and the human touch.
Exactly. You don't want to lose that personal connection.
Okay, so what about the community aspect we keep hearing about? How does that play into all of this?
Ah, that's a big part of the OnPassive pitch. It's not just about the tools.
It's about the people.
Right. They want to build a community where users support each other and share knowledge.
But can you really get that kind of genuine connection online?
That's the question, isn't it? Like, we've all seen how toxic some online communities can be.
Yeah, exactly. So how does OnPassive ensure their community stays positive and supportive?
Well, for one, they have pretty strict guidelines.
Like what?
No negativity, no spam, and they actively moderate their forums and social media groups.
Okay, so they're trying to keep things clean.
Yeah, and they really emphasize mentorship and collaboration, encouraging experienced users to help newbies.
So like a built-in support system.
Exactly. You're not just on your own figuring things out.
I can see how that would be appealing, especially if you're new to online business.
It can feel pretty overwhelming otherwise, like you're lost in the wilderness.
Okay, I'm starting to get why OnPassive is generating so much buzz.
It's a different approach, for sure. More collaborative, more supportive.
Yeah, and they make it sound accessible to anyone.
But we got to remember, it's still a business, right?
Yeah, and businesses need to make money. How does OnPassive actually generate revenue?
That's where things get a little tricky. They haven't officially launched all their products yet.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they've been in this pre-launch phase for a while now.
I've seen people talking about that online. Some say it's a red flag.
Yeah, some think it means they're not ready. Others say it's strategic, building anticipation.
So it's hard to know what to believe.
It makes it difficult to assess their financials, for sure. Not a lot of public data available.
So we're kind of left with anecdotal evidence from users.
Yeah, and the feedback is mixed.
Like some people love it and others are skeptical.
Some are seeing results with the available tools. Others are frustrated with the delays.
Sounds like there's a lot of faith involved.
Definitely. People are betting on the potential, not necessarily the present reality.
Which is fine, I guess, as long as they understand the risks.
Exactly. You got to go into it with your eyes wide open.
So how do we separate the hype from the reality? How do we figure out if OnPassive is legit?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Is OnPassive the real deal or just another internet marketing scheme?
You know, there's no easy answer. It's not black and white.
So where do we even start? How do we cut through all the noise?
Well, I always like to look at the company itself first. Like, who's running the show?
Yeah, what's their track record? Are they transparent about how things work?
Exactly, because there are so many scams out there. Got to be careful.
So what have you found out about OnPassive's background?
Well, they were founded by Ash Mufareh back in 2018.
And is he still involved?
Oh, yeah. He's very much the face of the company.
Interesting. What's his background?
He's been in tech and network marketing for a while. He's known for being a pretty charismatic speaker.
Okay, so that explains some of the hype surrounding OnPassive.
Yeah, he's definitely got away with words.
But charisma only gets you so far right. What about the financial side of things?
That's where things get a little less clear.
How so? Well, OnPassive hasn't actually launched all their products yet.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, they've been in this pre-launch phase for a while now.
I've seen people talking about that online. Some think it's a bad sign.
Yeah, it's definitely unusual. Makes it harder to assess their financial health.
Because there's no real data on their revenue or anything.
Right. Not a lot of public information available.
So we kind of have to rely on what users are saying.
To some extent, yeah. And the feedback is all over the place.
Like, some people are seeing results and others aren't.
Some say the tools are working for them. Others are frustrated with the delays.
It seems like a lot of people are just taking a leap of faith.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust involved.
Yeah.
People are buying into the vision.
Hoping it'll all work out in the end.
Exactly. Betting on OnPassive's potential, not necessarily what it is right now.
Which is risky, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got to be aware of the risks going in.
So what should someone actually do if they're considering OnPassive?
Do your research. Don't just believe the marketing hype. Look for independent reviews, critical analysis. Get the full picture.
Yeah, don't just rely on testimonials. Those can be misleading.
Exactly. And talk to real people who are using OnPassive.
Get their honest feedback.
Yeah, both the good and the bad. See what their experience has been like.
Good advice. Anything else?
Be realistic about your expectations. No business can guarantee success,
Even with AI.
especially with AI. It's a tool, not a magic wand.
Right. It still takes work and dedication.
And a bit of luck, too.
So after all your research, what are your final thoughts on OnPassive?
It's an interesting case for sure. They're tapping into a desire for something different.
Different how?
A more accessible way to do business online, more community-focused.
Yeah, I can see that.
And their use of AI is definitely pushing the boundaries.
But there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
Absolutely. The pre-launch thing, the lack of financial transparency, it all makes it hard to judge.
So it really comes down to individual risk tolerance.
Yeah, and whether you believe in their vision,
If you're comfortable with the uncertainty, it might be worth exploring.
but if you're looking for a sure thing, OnPassive probably isn't it.
Fair enough. No magic bullets in the online business world.
Exactly.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for our deep dive into OnPassive,
They've covered a lot of ground,
the tech, the community, the vision, and the controversies.
plenty for people to think about.
Now it's up to each individual to decide what they make of it all.
Do your research, ask the tough questions, and make an informed decision.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Always a pleasure. Let's jump into some AI stuff.
Okay.
You sent this over, and, I was pretty intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
OnPassive ecosystem,
Yeah.
or as they call it, OES.
Yep.
And I know you're super interested in how AI is changing, like all the things for businesses, right?
Absolutely.
And this platform says it's going to do all that and more.
That's what they claim.
Yeah. So what's the big deal with this OnPassive ecosystem? Should we be like really paying attention to this.
Well, they're relaunching this platform, right, on Passive Technologies.
Right.
And the thing is, it's not just another platform, I think, it's like they're going for this idea of a comprehensive digital platform.
Go.
But it's not just like having a bunch of different tools all in one place, right?
Yeah.
It's like the AI is actually working behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
to connect those tools and to streamline, how you do things, how you run your business.
Right.
And it's really about sustainable growth for businesses.
So it's like AI doing the heavy lifting for you. So you don't have to worry about like all the little details.
Exactly.
But they mentioned a bunch of different features in this source material that you sent.
Right.
And one of the first things that really jumped out at me was this marketplace thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's almost like an app store.
Mm.
But it's curated specifically for businesses. And the AI is kind of like suggesting tools that will actually work for your business.
Yeah, like aligning with your specific needs.
So is this a game changer? Or is this just, another marketing thing?
I think, there's a real need for something like this. Like,
Yeah.
think about all the time that people spend just trying to figure out, okay, what's the right software? What's the right tool for me?
Oh, yeah.
And you're constantly evaluating all this different stuff. So
Yeah.
the AI can really cut through all that clutter
Right.
and help you find the right tool, faster.
So you can actually get to work
Hmm.
and not just be searching for tools all the time?
Yeah. And save you time and money, potentially.
For sure.
And resources, for sure.
Okay, so then they also have all these features, like my wallet, my users, my subscriptions, my orders.
Right.
Like, is that just like really basic organization, keeping everything all in one spot?
It is at first glance.
Yeah.
But there's more to it, right? Think about it this way.
Yep.
Remember how annoying it is when it comes to tax time and you're like, where are all my receipts?
Yeah.
Or, when is this subscription due for renewal?
Right.
Did I already pay for that?
Yeah, you're scrambling.
So this takes all that away, right?
Right.
It's like centralizing all this information.
Right.
But the AI is stepping in
Mm-hmm.
to help you manage all of that more efficiently.
Okay, so it's not just putting it in one place. It's like
Yeah.
the AI is helping you actually manage it.
Exactly.
Okay, and of course, they have to have the my favorites
Right.
Yeah.
because it's an AI platform, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But this is more than just like bookmarking your favorite tools, right?
It is, yeah.
What's going on there?
Think about it.
Okay.
The AI learns what you use most often,
Mm-hmm.
predicts your needs,
Oh, wow.
and even can automate tasks between those tools.
So it's almost like it knows what you need before you need it,
Yeah, and you don't even have to think about it.
and then it does it for you.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's really like a level of personalization and efficiency
Yeah.
that we just haven't really seen in business software before.
So it's really trying to be proactive,
Absolutely.
not just reactive.
Mhm.
Okay, now they mentioned in the source that OES is accessible across multiple devices.
Yeah.
Okay, now that seems like a no-brainer these days,
Right.
but how does that fit into this whole ecosystem idea?
Well, it's about like seamless integration, right?
Right.
So you can be working on your laptop and then you got to head out to a meeting. So you pick up your phone or your tablet
Right.
and you keep working. You don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
So it's like all your essential tools and information are right there with you.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, no matter where you are.
I mean, especially for me, you know how much I like to move around.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty key.
Yeah. And, work on the go.
So speaking of access, the source mentioned something about signing up for the OES through a referral link.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Makes it sound kind of exclusive, like, it's a secret club.
It could be a way to control that initial, wave of users. Make
Okay.
sure that the people who are getting in early are
Right.
having a good experience,
Yeah.
and then, they can open it up later.
So it's like a beta test almost.
Yeah, or maybe it's about building a strong community,
Oh, okay.
around the platform.
I mean, it's definitely piquing my curiosity.
Yeah, we need to find out more about that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
So once you're in, you land on the OMail inbox page.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like the tools.
Right.
They're also integrating like communication into this whole thing.
They're really going for like this interconnected experience. you know?
Like it's all in one place.
Yeah, your communication, your tools, your finances.
Even your team management, everything.
Exactly, everything.
Wow.
All in one spot.
Now they have a video
They do.
that gives you like a little visual tour
Uh-huh.
of the OES.
Mm-hmm.
We won't spoil it for you.
We won't spoil it.
But if you're curious about this, I definitely recommend checking out that video.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
So it seems like this OES could be like a really powerful tool for businesses,
Definitely.
especially the ones that really rely on, using digital tools.
And that value automation and efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So we've got AI-powered tools. We've got this curated marketplace, centralized management, seamless accessibility.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
It is.
But the big question is,
Yeah.
what type of business do you think would benefit the most from this kind of ecosystem?
That's a good question.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, something to ponder.
Yeah, something to ponder as you're exploring the OES further. Be sure to check out the show notes for all those links that we mentioned.
Yeah, definitely.
Happy exploring
Happy exploring.
the OES.
The OES.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are diving deep today, and we are going to be taking a look at OnPassive.
Okay.
And wow, this is some really interesting stuff. I
Yep.
got to say, we've got a whole bunch of articles here, research papers, even some forum discussions. It seems like OnPassive is generating a lot of buzz online.
Yeah, it's really everywhere.
It is. So they're all about revolutionizing the digital marketing world using AI, and they talk about building a global community. And you see these key words popping up everywhere. AI-driven automation,
Right. Yeah,
personal growth, even making history. Like, wow, that's a pretty bold statement.
it is.
So that's what we're going to be trying to figure out today. Is OnPassive really the future of online business, or is it just a bunch of hype?
Yeah, well, let's dive in and see what we can find out.
Absolutely. So from what I'm seeing in these articles, OnPassive is really trying to present itself as a completely different way of doing online business.
Yeah, it's not like the typical, solopreneur grind that we see so much of.
Right, exactly. They're
Yeah.
saying, forget about struggling alone. Forget about chasing those guru formulas.
Yeah,
It's all about, everyone succeeding together.
exactly. And that's where this idea of inclusivity comes in. I mean, OnPassive is really emphasizing that anyone can succeed online, regardless of their technical skills or their background.
So how do they back that up? How does it actually work?
Well, a big part of it seems to be their suite of AI-powered tools that they offer.
Okay.
For example, they have this AI-driven marketing automation platform,
Okay.
and it's supposedly, it analyzes your target audience, it creates custom campaigns for you, so you don't have to, spend hours figuring out all the technical details.
So basically, it's like having a personal AI marketing assistant.
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea.
That's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty amazing if it actually works the way they say it does.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the business side of things either, right? I'm seeing a lot of talk about personal development and this massive global community.
Yeah, the community aspect is really interesting. OnPassive is all about collaboration and mutual support. It's almost like a social movement in a way.
Yeah, and they don't shy away from those bold statements either. I mean, they're literally calling themselves a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also noticing that there's a good amount of skepticism mixed in with all the praise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you have a company making these kinds of claims, you're going to have people who are a little bit doubtful.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So what are some of the concerns that people are raising?
Well, for one thing, some people are pointing out that the initial investment to join OnPassive can be quite high,
Okay.
which, kind of contradicts this idea of universal accessibility that they're promoting.
Right. Yeah. If not everyone can afford to get in,
Yeah.
then it's not exactly, open to everyone. That's a good point. And
Mhm.
are there any other concerns that you're seeing?
Some folks are also questioning, whether OnPassive can really deliver on all of these promises.
Right.
It's one thing to talk about AI-powered tools in a supportive community,
Right.
but actually making it all work seamlessly in practice is a whole other challenge.
Makes sense. So it seems like there are definitely two sides to this story.
Mhm.
On the one hand, you have OnPassive with these really ambitious goals, talking about an easier path to online success with AI and a supportive community.
Mm.
But on the other hand, there are these valid questions about whether they can actually live up to the hype.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
So what can we take away from all of this? What's the bottom line?
Well, I think it's safe to say that OnPassive is definitely shaking things up in the online business world. They're really pushing the boundaries of how technology and community can be used to create something new and different.
And whether or not they ultimately achieve everything they set out to do.
Mm,
It's clear that they're raising some really important questions about the future of online business.
absolutely. I mean, they're forcing us to think about whether this model could actually be a blueprint for a more inclusive and equitable digital economy.
That's a great point, and that's a really interesting question to consider. You know, could a platform like OnPassive really level the playing